these 70% of people who are pink are not subscribed to my channel. And these green people, I would like to say thank you. And I would like to invite these 70% of people to please subscribe to the channel. And now enjoy your free content. Bye. Hi and welcome back to Corso di Tromba. Today I'm gonna answer a question that has been asked me so many times, both on YouTube and also on the website, but also during online lessons. The question is, how can you plan your practice sessions between concerts, repertoire, and technique? Well, I'm gonna give you a first answer right away. To me, it's essential to know what I have to do to be very clear in a calendar what my next commitments are for the whole month. Either I have to prepare concerts, lessons, or masterclasses, I want to have immediately at a visual level, at first glance, to recognize, okay, here I have to do a concert, for example, here I have to do lessons, or instead a masterclass. In short, I know at first glance, looking at the calendar, I know what I have to do. So, from a practical point of view, I already know that mentally this week I have a first concert to do, which includes opera arias, overtures, and other pieces, for example. So, how to understand how much time to dedicate to certain topics? What I imagine is to have 100 units of time. Don't worry, you don't have to be a genius in math. It's just a matter of percentages, so don't worry. I'm gonna explain to you in a very simple way. What I'm going to do basically is creating a list of concerts that are more difficult. Usually concerts are the most difficult things. So how much time would I like to dedicate if I have 100 units of time? How many units of time would I like to dedicate, for example, to the Stravinsky practice session? So in my case, I already know that for the month of October, if I have 100 units of free time, I would like to dedicate at least 20 units of time to Stravinsky, because I've never played the Firebird in an orchestra, so it's necessary, it's appropriate to dedicate at least a fifth of my time, precisely 20 units of time out of 100, to the practice of the Firebird, to be prepared for the rehearsals and the concert. In the same way, I'll do this analysis also with the other concerts. For example, now I'll do it briefly, like Wagner is a repertoire that I already know it and I've already played and performed it, so I dedicated much less time, let's say 7 or 8%. Then we have, for example, Mozart, who I can dedicate even less time to because they are overtures that I remember having already played, and I dedicate them maybe 2-3%. Then there is the concert that I have to do at the end of this week, which is again overture, opera arias. They are quite commercial pieces for classic music, and therefore I dedicate a 1% of my time. This obviously means that I'm not dedicating just 1% of this week's time, but I'm gonna dedicate 1% of the whole month's time. In general, I practice about 2 hours a day on the average. 2 hours a day into 7 days is 14 hours, so in total it is 56 hours every month. And now, also to slow down the flow of this video for a moment, I would like to dedicate a minute to the sponsor of this video, which is KraftGeek. KraftGeek is a company that deals with the construction of innovative music stands. Specifically, what you're seeing in this video review is a truly formidable stand. It's practical, stretchable, it fits perfectly into the trumpet case, and it provides a LED light that you can power both with a standard battery or a USB Type-C cable. But the thing that strikes me the most personally is this hook for the smartphone. In fact, I can always have the tuner, the metronome, without interfering with the score in this way, the music score. Then there are other little small features, for example, the side spring that is transparent and allows you to see for the score. Just the fact, for example, that you can open the stand in about just 10 seconds, which on the other hand you cannot do with all the other stands. So from this point of view, it's really a very practical music stand. If you are interested in buying it or trying it, because there is a 30 days trial period, you can use the 15% discount code Corso di Tromba. I'll leave you the link below to access their sales page directly. I want to clarify that I'm not earning anything from this partnership. I'm doing it because it's actually a company that I like, and from a design point of view, it's an excellent product. So I don't earn anything from it, but I really like it. the 15% discount is all for you. There is no percentage for me, but I think it's really a great opportunity for all my subscribers to have a different music stand that can be portable, to put in the case, to add the smartphone, the light. In short, it's really a great alternative to traditional music stands. So I'm very happy to use it. I'm using it every day and also during concerts when I have to bring my stand. So what I'm going to do now is just to do the math and understand how much time to dedicate, how many hours to dedicate to each of these concerts, and then decide where to allocate this time. When I say 100% out of 56 hours, it's just half an hour, a little more, just 45 minutes. When I say 3%, it's 3 times more, so it's about 1 hour and a half, a little more, 1 hour and 45 minutes. While 20% of the time is more than 11 hours of practice dedicated exclusively to Stravinsky. Why am I doing this kind of reasoning to you? Because clearly it wouldn't make any sense to just practice every day 1% or 5% of the total. It complicates everything and it's not worth it. I'm going to allocate these hours, these half hours, directly in some strategic days. So this week I know that I'll dedicate half an hour of the time to the practice of the concert that I have at the end of this week. Maybe 2 or 3 days before the concert itself. So as just to see if I have to practice again some orchestral excerpt, that okay, here is better that I listen it again, it's better that I try again this excerpt, so that I will be sure during the concert. This is the core idea, and if you have followed me so far, you have already surely noticed that, however, a large slice of free time remains. About 66% of the time is not allocated yet. And what should we do then in that time? Well, basically, since for the concert I don't have to use special trumpets like the piccolo trumpet, I always have to use just the B flat and C trumpet. So I divide that remaining 66% of time in 2 halves. And I'm gonna dedicate half the time with the B flat trumpet to practice the technique, and the other 33% that remains I dedicated to the practice of a bit of technique with the C trumpet, and of course to the practice of orchestral excerpts that I have to do for that month, or possibly if I want to practice a little bit of repertoire as I did for example last month. Like I didn't have to practice Intrada necessarily, but it was a few months that I wasn't practicing it. And so I thought, okay, maybe it's the time to try it again, to practice it again, to play it again, and let's see how it goes. So I hope you understand that when I say today I have a couple of hours time available for my practice session, I don't divide it analytically like 3, 7, 66% of time. No, I don't act like that. What do I do instead? I ask myself, what do I have to prepare? Oh, I have to prepare that concert, but I just have to dedicate half an hour and I can dedicate it on Friday. So let's pretend that today is Monday. So today I have 2 hours that I can dedicate completely to the practice of the B flat and C trumpets. If I want, I can practice legato, staccato, articulations, all the rhythms. And my goal is to practice every day a couple of hours. So this is my fixed amount of time that I practice every day. This is the most important part. But on the other hand, if you are watching this video and you are a student, what I advise you is to dedicate at least 50% of the practice session to the technique. This is because in the future, when you will be more expert, you could reduce a little the timing of the practice session regarding the technique, because maybe it will be just faster and it will be easier to understand. Oh, okay, for example, I don't feel very well, I'm going to practice just flexibility, I don't know. You solve it and then you go on, but at least right now I advise you something different. In order to improve faster and therefore to get more concerts to do, okay, to dedicate more time to the technique, at least 50%. And then of course you can decrease it afterwards. What do you do with the other 50% of the time? You will dedicate the other 50% to the practice of the repertoire, for example, or maybe if you have to do concerts, you can practice those orchestral excerpts that you need to perform. And when I say repertoire, I obviously mean not only the solo repertoire, but also the orchestral repertoire. Obviously, this is just if you are a student, because if you are a professional trumpet player, you already know that to get to that level, it's not enough to practice just 10 minutes of flexibility, for example. But if you are a student who has just started out, maybe you are watching these videos because you are at the beginning, you can start like this. But if you need more information, you can contact me without going too crazy with all these percentages, math, understanding how much time I should allocate. Not having that experience, you would also have more difficulties doing this kind of job. So At least now, if you want to learn to manage, to allocate time in a more professional way, in a more appropriate way for the practice of the trumpet, you can contact me, you can write to me, we can set up a free meeting where I give you some advice, and eventually we can define an ideal study plan, customized specifically for you. There are many ways to contact me, for the website, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, so I hope this video has been useful to you in some ways. I wish you a good practice and have fun with music. Bye!